How far?
I'm in the Trading Hub live session.
So, like I said, we are dealing majorly with day trades and scalps. So our structure is starting from the 15 minutes. Nothing concerns us with anything above, at least for today. So this is a shift. Then another shift. Then another one. Then this is the recent time. Then another one. Then kept coming down. Now we broke this demand here. Now it came back and it is holding. So normally one is supposed to see what the market decides to do here, because this would have signaled someone to enter from here, but then you can see what the market is doing. Let's check the fundamentals. You can see that there's an high impact news. So what this means is that most card related pairs, they will be moving mad till that high impact news. And this explains it. Because normally after this breakout and it breaks out up and this place now holds, it's supposed to continue, it's supposed to have something like this. It's supposed to have something like this. Then your target would be this. Your overall target should be here. Normally, this is the ideal. This is the ideal entry for this. Normally, this is the ideal entry. But then, let's see what the market will decide to do. Let's see what the market will decide to do. But normally, when this occurs, this is a QML trade, Quasimodo. So, has broken out, has broken inside, now is holding, it's supposed to go up and not down. So anything that makes it break this area, anything that makes it breaks down again, that means it is fully bearish. As you can see, that means it is fully bearish if this area fails to hold. So this is a good setup for a day trade. A good setup for a day trade. So let's see what the market decides to do after that. Then let's quickly get to AUD. This one, I got this one this morning, like some few minutes ago. So they clean downtrend. Like I said, when you're trying to scalp, you have no business with 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours. So I'm just trying to label it so you would see what I was doing. Sorry, this was the shift. Then it broke structure. So as you can see, this is a 4-hour trade. It's already headed towards TP. It has already done 3 hours already. So this one now today started very well. It's a very clean setup. This is the origin of the breakout structure, and it came back for the origin. Very simple textbook entry. There's nothing complicated here. So like this now, I feel like I should be out of this trade already. Yes, I should be out of it because my target is always 3 hours, regardless of the structure. So the trade should have hit CP by now. So that is that for AUD USD. It's very, very straightforward. So it's going up here. Let me show you again so you understand. This is lower time frame trades. So it broke structure here. It shifted here. Then it broke structure here. Then it broke structure again. Then it shifted. Then it broke structure. Came back from the origin. It's a simple textbook setup. This one is very straightforward. So then for CAT now, is also on a downtrend. So when you're trying to scalp or like take trades that you close the same day, you should most likely be starting from the 15 or 30 minutes max. Then you can now go to your 5 to like modify it. So this is the recent low, and this was basically a news-induced movement. So you can clearly see that is what they call distances. So the open market spread, I've just seen it now. This is open market gap. So it's open market gap. So it's coming back to fill it. So when price gets to like an open market gap area, there's 2 things that might possibly happen. It can hold and change direction, or just clear it and continue the movement. So that makes it very risky to pick any trade around this area, even though there's an order block there, but it makes it quite risky to pick an order. But if I were to pick, this is a clear order block here, and this is an inducement for it. So normally I'll be having a buy here based on this order block. This is the ideal entry normally. Then you target here, you get your 3R and you're out of the market. But then because it is around an open market gap, it becomes 50-50. So this becomes 50-50. It is not 100% clear. But the market needs to fill that gap properly. It has not filled it completely yet. So let's see what the market decides to do during the day. But this setup is 50-50. If there was no open market gap, I would gladly enter and be almost certain that it will get to this recent high. Like I said, when you are day trading or scalping, you only have business with the recent high. You don't have to be stressing yourself to be dragging it to like this place or this place. You have business with the recent. As long as you have 3 hours or more, you are good. You just need to win 3 out of 10. So you will lose a lot, but you just need 3 wins out of 10 to stay profitable. That's just it. So with that mindset, you won't be too bothered with losses. So the next one is CAD JPY. I'm trying to zoom out to see the structure. Okay, there was a break here. There was a shift here with an imbalance. Then it shifted, it broke structure again, clearly bullish. So this is clearly bullish. So I'll majorly be looking for buy setups only today. That's what this means. I'll only be looking for buy setups today. So where are my points of interest? This is one. And there's an inducement for it. This one has been induced already. Can clearly see it. So this is unmitigated. So if at all I'm trying to look for a buy for today's trade, I'll be having my buy around here and my target here. And this is 4 point something. So this is what I'll be looking at on this pair today. And there's something here too that could serve as an inducement. So even in the substructure set, it's still bullish. Still bullish. So this looks most likely too old. Looks most likely too old for a day trade. Looks most likely too. So this is what I'll be looking at for today's trade. If you now go to the 5 minutes, you still see it. That it is a valid. You can clearly see this unmitigated 5 minutes order. So this is a valid day trading setup on CAD JPY and it's 4.65. We're expecting a reaction there. But then it is not like that this market. Always take note of that. So I'm trying to zoom in so you can see. But a screenshot will still be dropped on the group. The screenshot will still be dropped on the group. So that is that. Then the next one is EOD. Let's go to the 15 minutes. So you only have business when trading this, you only have business with the current structure. So where did the current structure start from? So the breaking structure here. So that was the last one. So this is where the shift happened. Then it broke structure here. So based off this, this is my order block. If at all I'm looking for a clear buy, this is where I'll be looking at it from. That's a clear order block there. Okay. And you can decide to mark it together just to be more safer. This is a 5-hour trade. This is the ideal entry for this. This is the ideal entry for this. If at all I want a very good setup that will not stress me. So this is another unmitigated order block. That's another unmitigated. So if this is broken, then this should most likely hold because that is an inducement before it. So if at all I'm trying to look for a buy on this trade, which I should be looking for, those are my potential entries. This is an inducement. Those are my potential entries. Those are my potential entries on this. This and this, because it started the movement. But most of the time, the market will most likely ignore this whenever it is close to the origin. So having another order here becomes 50-50, but then most of the time, it usually comes from the origin of the movement. The perfect example is that gold setup I dropped yesterday. It came back for the origin. It ignored the ones before it. So if this breaks, because this is the most visible order block before that break of structure, then this is the origin of all the movements. This was the origin of the shift. When I call it shift, I don't like calling it change of character. So you need to get used to that. But this is also a valid area. But then this origin is unmitigated. It's clearly unmitigated. So it might decide to you might just see one long wick. I just tapped into it and it flies. So that for Euro AUD for today. This is 15 minutes time frame. So most of the time, once it taps into it, you get your movements and know your result on time. Then the next one is Euro card. So just identify the nearest market movement. Decided to shift here in a break structure. Then it shifted here. So this makes this area a protected level. Then he broke structure here. Then he created that high. Then he shifted here. That was the area that created the break of structure. Then he broke structure here. Became bearish. He broke structure here again. And he didn't get to the protected level before he bounced. So that's a problem. Then he broke structure here again. Then he created an inducement to that protected level. This area now is protected. Now there's inducement ahead. So for this now, anytime price comes back here, I will most likely be looking for a potential buy to this side, which is a 7-hour trade, or a potential sell from this area. So you did one here. These are potential sell areas unmitigated. This is one. There's another one here. And this is the last one. So but when you have too many points of interest like this, it becomes complicated. This was the inducement for this. So that's a potential sell to buy. This is one, this is another one, this is another one. There are points of interest that are unmitigated. So if it breaks here now, that means this has been mitigated, but this has an inducement before it. So, but anything you are taking here should be a sell to buy, because this is an origin. So you might have something like this. So this target area, this is a 10-hour trade. And if it breaks there, you see how it reacts within this area also. So those are potential areas, because this is one that created this break of structure. So it's also valid, but it's making use of this breakout block. So let's see what the market decides to do here if it wants to continue downwards. But if it continues downwards, this will be your first target. That should be your first target. But this and this are also good sell areas. They're also good sell areas, whereby you can have this as inducement. So, but the thing about lower time frame trade is that it will give you a lot of point of interest. So that's why you have to reduce your risk very well when trading on lower time frame, because you have so many points of interest. You have a lot of point of interest, especially if you know what you are looking for, you know the direction of your market. This is another one. That's the inducement for that entry too. And they all have inducements, funny enough, that makes that area valid. So as you can see, those are my 3 major points of interest for this market. But let's see what the market decides to do during the day. I'll come back for that later on. Then there's EUJPY. Follow the trend. You only have business with the recent market. If you are just zooming out, you just be wasting your time. If not, you spend too much time stressing yourself over what you should not. This was just a sweep. And this is the recent high. This pair is crazy. I lie. It's only sweeping, it's not closing with full bodies. This does not make sense. So that makes it a very risky market. And then it came for this for that blow. Came for this for that blow. So normally I would have had something like this here. I'll make sure it covers for this. If I target this nearest area. This is 4R. Please mute your mic. Who is that? So normally this is what I'll be having here. Based on this other blow. This is what I'll be having here. But let's see how it goes. So the nearest target, you should most likely get there. This is 4R. So you can go to your 5 minutes and join the trade. So by adventure, if it decides to come back towards this area, you can join it on the 5 minutes. Anything within this area, you can join it. That's the last bearish area. So that is that form. It should most likely come down here. It's very straightforward. Then Euro USD, let's see. Okay, has it shifted? I think so. Yes, it has shifted. So I need a break of structure to the upside before I start looking for buys. So I need to see a break here. If there's no break here, then that means it will most likely continue back to this place. So this is the low, and that will be the target. But then I need to see a break. But if you are looking at it from this side, it is still bearish. But there's a shift here. So it is not bullish yet. What am I doing? It is not bullish yet. It is not bullish yet. It's not bullish yet. So let's see what the market decides to do. So I need to see that break first before I make use of this area. But overall, considering the fact that it has not shifted, it has not broken structure yet, rather, these are areas where the market will most likely sell for. This, that's a potential sell area, and that's the most recent high. That's the recent high. And that's where it started dropping from. And it also seems like that's picked something from this area. Exactly. That's picked order from this unmitigated area. So if I was trading, yeah, if I was looking at the market this morning, like in the midnight, I would have had something like this. That's an inducement. I would have had something like this. And this is my target. Like I said, knowing where to exit is very important. This is a clean 5-hour trade. This is a clean 5-hour trade. This was the inducement for this unmitigated order block. This one has already mitigated everything here. So that's why I didn't even stress. Just tap into it and boom, straight to the nearest ERN. You understand? So like I was saying, if it comes back here, it should most likely hold for a buy anywhere here. But then considering the overall trend, that still looks complicated. You just need to see what the market decides to do. But this was the cleanest setup at the moment, and it has already played out. Clean 5-hour. So we need to see what the market does around here, because this is also another block. This is also another block. Okay, so that's also another one. A bearish one, which explains why this bearish engulfing was there. But then this looks more enticing for me. Who's that? So this looks more enticing for me. This looks more enticing for me than this one. But then it has tapped into the bearish.
I realize that the problem.
Sure. Okay. So normally, if you were trying to sell from it, only sweats the liquidity, but then this is the other block. So you'd be having something like this. Back to this nearest one. Like I said, always target the nearest one. That is where you should be targeting to exit from. But then this one is not 100% certain. It is not certain at all. It's not certain at all. But normally, this is what I would have if I was trying to sell back to this area. This is what, and this will be my target. That will be my target, and that's 5-hour. So that's the advantage of trading on lower time frame. You see so many points of interest. You will lose a lot, but you should just make sure that you are winning at least 3 out of 10. That should just be your bone of contention. You will definitely lose, but make sure you are winning at least 3 out of 10. I'll keep repeating that because that's the one thing that will keep you profitable. So make sure you have a model that works for you. But then this is the cleanest setup for today. It can easily buy back to this high. It can easily buy back to this high. So that is that for now. So logically, I should be looking for buys rather than sells. But then the area where I would have joined if I had missed this initial movement was around here, around this area, when it came back for this one. So that's where I would have moved. Came back for this area here. For those that did not see it. So that's where I would have, because on the 5 minutes, there would have been break of structures there. You can see. So this is where I would have re-entered. Let me use this. So I'm just trying to quickly show you if you miss the initial movement. So after all this break, you already know that the price will tap into that other block. You can see how it taps pretty into the other block. So that I've had something like this on the 5 minutes. And I'll target that final TP. And on the 5 minutes, you still get your 4 point something RR, even though you missed the initial entry. Do you get? So that's just how it works. So that is that. So if you had missed this or you wanted to join again, you would have joined here and you have still chopped 4.5 RR. So let's go to GJ fast. So this is in area structure, still looks bullish.
Every Monday, I follow their seminar.
This will see now. So still looks bullish. Did it come for this other block? Let me see. Because I marked with shirts. I have not missed entry like this. I had an order here. Okay, life. You can see it's not hard, Rara. This is the nearest one. Or this. Sorry, this is the nearest one. And did he get there? Did he give 3 RR? Yes, simple and short. But I think I've missed this entry because my entry was like 240 something. Chai. He just merely swept liquidity and tapped into the entry. Chai, fuck up. So I missed this one. I had this on my other chart. So I missed this entry. This was my target. So this is a sweet 3 RR trade. This is a 3 RR trade. Remember, always follow the trend. Follow the trend. Look for the unmitigated order block. If there's an inducement before it, perfect. If it goes against you, you learn. If it goes your way, you make profits. It's as simple as that. So like this now, I'm not looking for anything yet. But after this break now, this becomes where you'll be. This becomes your point of interest. This becomes your point of interest after this break. So if the market decides to give you an inducement, fine. Then you probably have something like this. Towards the next area, if he breaks this and comes back, take it. So that is that. It's just a trade idea. But this Chinese payment has a missed entry. Look at life. So the next one is GU. This one is clearly bearish. But I don't really like the price action of GU. I don't like the price action at all. I don't like the price action. All this one, there's nothing here again. They've been mitigated. So if at all I want to buy this EGU from here, then you can now go to your 5 minutes. When you look for the nearest, I hate these markets. The nearest TRL is too far, just too far for my liking. Let me see if I can modify it in the 5 minutes. Okay, so I can make use of this. Easy or two. Let's see. I like simplicity. I like the market easy. I like my targets to be close and my 3R. If it plays out, fine. If it doesn't, on to the next. But looking at this now, this is what I'll be having here. If at all I wanted to enter this trade, this is what I'll be having. This clearly what I'll be having. This is clearly what I'll be having because this is protected and mitigated. So let's see what the market decides to do. So I have 5 minutes left. It's also another very useless pair. Very, very useless. Shifts. Back again. And this pair can be very annoying. When other USD pairs are moving, to don't move. You expect it to move. Movement station. This one says soup. So it is not 100% certain, but this looks like it will fail if you even enter it. But normally, if I wanted to risk this market, I would have something like this. But I wouldn't take this trade. But I wouldn't take this trade. Although this is what I'll be having, but I would not be taking this. The price action is too rough. But normally, this is what you should be having, considering the fact that there's been an upward movement and this level has not been broken or taken out. So if per adventure is posed, then it should clear this. I think this should give 3 hours because it's not up to. So that's the nearest the standard range liquidity. That's 4 hours. So, so that is that. Remember, we're only dealing with trades that will trigger today and you most likely close today. And if it does not trigger, you delete your order. No pass like that. This is a recent move. So I have 2 minutes left. I think I'll pause on this. So this is the unmitigated order block. And that giving me an inducement. So this one still looks quite good. So if at all I was planning to pick this, and that's something like this. Always know your targets. You can see this is 3 hours, but if I want to go extreme, I go for this. But then personally, this is where my own TP will be. But this is the ideal setup for this. So let's see what the market. So if the market has who is that person? So So this is what I'll be having here. If at all I was trying to take this, because overall it's still bullish, and that's the origin of the movement. So this is a valid buy setup on USD chip, very valid as fuck, because it still aligns with the trend. You can see it, very valid. But let's see what the market does, because it's not like that. This market in the next session, I'll touch the rest of the pairs: CJ, Gold, NAS, BTC, and the likes. So I'll see you in the next session. My time is up for this one, so let me stop sharing and I'll open another session shortly and drop the link on the group. So as I was saying, this one is quite straightforward. This is on an uptrend clearly on the 15 minutes. And this is the origin. So I expect price to come back for this area before bouncing. I press price to come back before bouncing. This is also an area to look out for. But it's not as strong as this. And the inducement is closer. Inducement is closer to it than the one below. So the market can also use it too. So that will be my two major point of interest that I'll be looking at for today's trades. So I'm looking at that. I'll be looking at this. But overall, I'm looking at buying back to this place. So that's that for UG. Then for gold, gold has been very somehow. I don't know how to put it, but the price action hasn't been the way it has been in the past. So it came for this other block normally. So this is the current thing that we still have. But that was the origin of the whole movement yesterday. That was the origin of the whole movement yesterday. I had an adjustment with it. Even without the inducement, it was still a very good place. So normally this is where the target should be, and it's currently running. So let's just see how this goes. There's nothing complicated here for now, except you've missed and you're trying to join it back. But this is the ideal setup for now. As long as this area is not broken, then you should still buy. But I don't like the way it is moving. But then if you also look at it from this angle, you can see that it still looks most likely to continue buying. And if you go to your 5 minutes, you clearly see that it's still trying to continue to push upwards. So this is mitigated. And this is mitigated. So it looks most likely to continue, but then it is not my daddy's, so it's not my daddy's market. But let's see what the market decides to do. But overall, this is the setup. It looks most likely to continue. So, and it is currently running how many hours? Running 2 hours already. So let's see what the market decides to do. Here for NAS. I'm not really a fan of indices for the persons trading it. It merely sweeps liquidity. But the bottom line is that this area looks protected. But I would only be very certain if this I is taken out. If it is not taken out, I won't be very, very, very certain yet. Although there's already something there. But then as it has rejected now, I need this place to be taken out. So normally this is what you would have had here. This is the setup. Then if you zoom out, you should have your first target here, and that's a 4-hour setup. But then I need this to be taken out first. If I can be certain that to get to all this area, it needs to take this out. And this area is holding very strong, clearly holding and clearly protected. So let's see what the market decides to do during the day. But always remember, it is not, this is just a trade idea. It is not my daddy's market. You're expected to still go to your charts and navigate your way around it. Then the next one is BTC. Clearly on the downtrend. Like I sweat liquidity. And we need to see a sweep of this. We need to see a sweep of that. For me to be certain that, okay, this area that held is not a flow. So if you see something like this, then you can now go to your 5 minutes and like pick your entry. So you can now probably have something like this. But I need to see that switch. Then I'll have something like this on the 5 minutes. I didn't trade it to do. Then I can now have something like this. Then I'll look for the nearest target. Okay, this is the overall. But for me to be certain, I need this area to be taken out. I need this to be taken out. So once it's taken out, then you are guaranteed that if price comes back to this level, it will bounce. Like 7 out of 10 times, it should most definitely bounce from here on the lower time frame. But I need this to be taken out first. So that is that. This one's the same vibes. And this one has already taken it out. So you can see what I was saying. So it enables this area to remain a protected level. So if price comes back towards this level, there would most definitely be a bounce. Okay, it has already done itself. It has already done what I was saying because it broke this. So this is the 5 minutes time frame. So don't go and get confused. So it has already done it. It came back for it. So this will be the target 3R. That will be the target. This is not clicking. So that will be the target. Normal Facebook entry. As it has broken these two now, so most likely get it. Except the market just wants to be mad, but it should get to this place eventually. Very straightforward. You can see very, very straightforward. Should get there. That's a 3R. So then the next one is so. How does it feel like this one has done that too? So this should still come back. Yes, it should still come back. For either this, usually this, it should come back for this. For a long-term buy. And that's where you be targeting. And there's an inducement for it. So it should most likely come back in that area. Well, let's check on the 5 minutes. It needs to come back here. This is still a valid. So if I want to like reduce it, you can have it like this. Let me zoom it to this. So you can have something like this. And that's how many are 5 point something. So you can go back to 15. And you have something good. So I expect it to come back, then bounce. See, this one is literally the same vibe. But it looks like it has come back for the other one as it's just a little bit. This one might come, might not come. But then it looks like it should still come back then. Here is our target. Let me go to the 5 minutes and see. It looks like a missed entry though. But let's see if the market decides to come back. The market decides to come back. Again, this looks like a good place. So pick. But then this should be your overall target. 5R. Let's see what the market does. It's looking more like a missed entry, but then this is an ideal setup. Awesome. Came back for it. So it might just bounce from here and it might continue. So let's see. So that will be all. I've covered all the pairs that all of you are trading. So the recorded version will be dropped in midway and can go through it. Then a screenshot of all this will also be dropped on the book. So thank you and see you tomorrow.